Do you have any favorite athletes from the 1980s? Were you even born during the 1980s? Well, I wasn't even alive during the 1980s, but I've kept up with some favorite athletes over the years and seen some good highlights of them. So I picked 3 favorite sports of mine and 3 favorite players from each sport. So I have, for football, Reggie White, Barry Sanders, and Joe Montana. Reggie White was a defensive end and a defensive tackle for the Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay Packers. Not a big fan of the Eagles, but I love the Packers. He spent 15 seasons in the NFL, and he also went to the University of Tennessee. I thought that was a pretty cool fact. He died of cardiovascular disease. Barry Sanders was a running back for the Detroit Lions for an entire 10 years. You don't really see a lot of athletes spend their whole time with one team, so I thought that was pretty rare. And he went to Oklahoma State University. Joe Montana was a quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. He went to Notre Dame College. And for baseball, favorite sport, I have Cal Ripken Jr., Nolan Ryan, and Roger Clemens. Cal Ripken Jr. was a shortstop and a third baseman for the Baltimore Orioles. He spent 21 seasons in the MLB. Nolan Ryan was a pitcher for the Texas Rangers, and now he's an executive advisor for the Astros. Roger Clemens is a pitcher for the Yankees. Not a fan of the Yankees, but I love Roger Clemens because he was a great pitcher. He spent 24 seasons with 4 teams, and he went to the University of Texas at Austin. For basketball, least favorite to watch, but I still love basketball. I have Clyde Drexler, Charles Barkley, and Michael Jordan. Clyde Drexler was a 10-time All-Star, and during his career, he was the top 50 greatest players in the NBA. He played for the Portland Blazers and Houston Rockets, and he was a guard, and he went to the University of Houston. When he was with the Houston Rockets, he spent the majority of his time with them and did well for them. Charles Barkley, who many of you may know, he's an analyst inside the NBA today. He was a power forward for the Philadelphia 76ers and the Phoenix Suns and the Houston Rockets, and he went to Auburn College. Some people might not like Charles Barkley because he's so blunt, but I think he's awesome. And of course, Michael Jordan, had to pick him. He played for the Chicago Bulls and the Washington Wizards. The majority of his career was spent with the Bulls, of course. He was a shooting guard and a small forward. He's now the principal owner and chairman of the Charlotte Hornets, and he went to North Carolina University.